Are you doubting that delusion works? Do you doubt yourself every time being delusional feels unnatural? Well, that's exactly why it's not working for you. Neuroscience backs it up. Being delusional actually works. And that's because there's not such a thing as a delusional or accurate mind. There are just minds that manifest what they believe in. So the reason why it's not working for you is that you're not being delusional. You're trying to be delusional. And that's not being delusional, that's trying to be. So you have a brain, right? A human brain. That brain generates you, yourself, your consciousness. But it also generates your unconsciousness. And we can define unconsciousness as a set of automatic systems. It's not the most rigorous definition, but it works. Why would we have a set of automatic systems that run in the background of our minds while we are conscious and think of other stuff? That is because you have finite energy. And you want to administrate that energy like in the smartest way possible, right? Because you have to do like a bunch of stuff every day that is extremely complex. And if you have finite energy and you don't administrate it, you will not be able to accomplish all the goals you have daily. And the human brain comes to this reality with two missions, biological missions, survival and reproduction. So that's why the brain is prepared to optimize energy consumption. So today we will analyze one of those systems, and it is the system responsible for designing your actions. How does this system works? It's easy. Your brain basically models reality. Reality is such a complex phenomenon, and a model is a simplification of reality, which is useful to solve problems and spend low amounts of energy, right? And this model of reality can be divided into two models. These two models are key here. One of them is your identity. The other one is your environment. Your identity is a model of yourself. It's the model of your personality. It's like your personality. Because you use this model to automate actions and design your behavior basing on this model right here. So if you think you have a specific personality, you will act that way every time you try to do something, like socialize, or work, or wake up, or go to sleep, or whatever. You do the things basing on this information right here. Now, many people are extremely attached to their personalities, and they think they are that way, and if they want to change, they have to change their lives. Many people think of themselves like they are losers, like they are not smart, like they are undisciplined, and they think that maybe if they make money, or if they dress better, or if they get better friends, or if they do anything, they can change their personalities. But that's nonsense, because they are waiting for the effect to come before the cause. They believe of themselves that they are undisciplined, they are not smart, and these kind of things, so they will act that way. So that kind of person is not the cause of the effects we mentioned before, right? The model of your environment, right here, basically is what you believe of your environment. Remember, reality is such a complex model. You cannot contemplate all the variables of the reality, which are dynamic, in one single instant. So you have to simplify reality into a model. That's why you create this, and from this group of data and info, or memories and beliefs, you also you also design your behavior basing on this. If you think walking down the streets is dangerous because maybe someone attacks you or whatever, you will walk less in the streets, or you will walk more aware, taking care of yourself, paranoia. That's because of a belief. It may be true, it may be false, maybe neither, but you act that way just because you believe that, right? If you believe money is scarce, you will be desperate about money. You will not be trying to make money because you think it's scarce, right? So every time you try to face a project to make money, your brain will predict failure because your brain makes predictions basing on this model right here. These models are constituted by your memory, which basically is all your memories, and your belief system. This is like the resources that create these models. You have memories of you acting in the past, you have memories of experiences about you interacting with the environment, and from those memories you created beliefs, and you created a belief system. So you may think of yourself that you are a kind of person, like you are shy, or you are socially skilled, or you are smart, or maybe you think you're not smart. Well, that's just a belief. That is not true or false. That's just a belief. And from this model, which can be divided into two big models, so from these models, your brain designs predictions of what's going to happen. And from these predictions, you design your actions, and from your actions, you get your outcomes. Now, why being delusional works? That is because there is not such thing as a delusional model or an accurate model of reality. Stay with me. There is not such thing as a delusional or accurate model of reality. Because reality is a complex phenomenon, and we cannot contemplate all its variables in one single instant, so we have to create a model, which is a simplification of reality. And that model cannot be accurate or delusional. That model just is a tool for us to develop our behavior, to design our behavior, and spend low amounts of energy. A model is just a tool for the brain to optimize energy consumption. Then it's not delusional or accurate, it's just a tool. And this model, believe it or not, it will get manifested into the physical plane. That's why being delusional works. So the model that you have in your brain is not delusional or accurate. It's just a tool for you to design your behavior, spending low amounts of energy. Now, this model will define your behavior. If you believe of yourself that you are shy, that you will fail, that it will be extremely difficult for you, that all the other people around you are making it because they are different from you, they have something that you don't have, and they are better than you, then you will act in a way that will manifest that thing that you believe in, which is not real or fake, but it will get manifested into the physical plane. Why? Suppose you believe you will never make it. You will be extremely unsuccessful and unhappy. So you face the project of your dreams. You want to build your dreams, but you have these beliefs deep down in your heart, like in your mind. You believe it deeply, that you will fail, that you are not smart. So one day you wake up and you say, okay, it's time to build my dreams. Now, which it will never come that day, because people that believe bad things of themselves never take action. But let's suppose you actually take action one day. When you design those actions, you will design them based on these beliefs. And here's the thing. The brain is trying to save energy. And at the same time, your brain is trying to reproduce and survive. So, if you design a project to build your dreams, but you believe it will fail, your brain will sabotage you. Because if you believe the project will fail, that means it will not help surviving or reproducing. Then why would you spend units of your precious finite energy in a project that will fail? That's nonsense. That's like asking you to give to some random guy all your money because he has a project that will fail. That makes no sense, right? So the brain is doing the same thing. If you believe you will fail, if you believe you are undisciplined, if you believe you are not smart, and all the other people can make it but not you, your brain will not direct the required energy to accomplish that project or that goal you have. But how do you change your identity? How do you become a brand new person, a different person? Well, it requires a skill, and that is the skill of awareness. You have to be aware of your thoughts, because your thoughts come from this model of reality. You have a model of reality that is constituted by memories and beliefs. That model of reality can be divided into two big groups: your identity and your environment. Your identity is who you think you are. This model helps your brain design thoughts and predictions about the future. So you can design your actions, and those actions will bring you your outcomes. Now, if your model of reality is negative about yourself, like you believe you are undisciplined, you believe you are unhappy, you believe you believe you are not enough, you're not worthy, your thoughts will be extremely negative. You will be anxious, you will be overthinking because you want to change that reality, but you are trying to change the physical plane and not your mind first. But how do you change your mind? By becoming aware of those thoughts first, and then understanding that thoughts are not real or fake. Thoughts just are, just exist. Now, stop paying attention to those thoughts that tell you that you are a failure, that you are a loser, that you will fail, that you are not smart, that you are undisciplined, and just ignore them. Ignore them. Why? Does it feel unnatural? Yeah, it feels unnatural. But it doesn't matter, because the only way to manifest is to change your mind first. And your thoughts don't come from reality, because you will believe that your thoughts come from reality, from the physical plane, so you have to believe them and accept them. Well, that's not true. It's the other way around. The physical plane is manifested and shaped by your thoughts. So if you believe those thoughts, you will keep manifesting that into the physical plane. Ignore those thoughts. Stop paying attention to those thoughts. Stop giving them your energy, your precious energy, and refocus on new thoughts. Thoughts that are positive, thoughts that show you being successful, thoughts that show you being worthy, smart, socially skilled in general, like everything that you have always wanted to be, your ideal version. When you start feeding those thoughts, they will grow. They will get reinforced. And one day they will shape your model of reality. That means you changed your identity. So when you embody those thoughts for long enough, you will change your identity. So it will be automatic. You will not need anymore the skill of awareness. Like you will use this skill your whole life, because this is like probably the most useful skill you can learn in your whole life. But once you change your identity, you will start manifesting and changing your life. How? By becoming aware of your thoughts, stop feeding them, and start paying attention to new thoughts that tell you that you are successful or whatever. Why? Why would you do that? Because reality is shaped by your thoughts. It's not that your thoughts come from the physical plane. It's the other way around. Start feeding the right thoughts and your physical plane will change. It's that simple. You don't need a justification. You don't need to make money first to feel wealthy. You don't need to make money first to feel smart. You don't need to be successful in whatever you have always wanted to be successful. Like maybe you are an artist, maybe you train in a gym, maybe you meditate. Whatever you do, you don't need to be successful first to feel successful, because that's waiting for the effect to come before the cause. That makes no sense. So start embodying the ideal version of yourself now. You don't need evidence. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Most importantly, you don't need to prove anything to yourself. You don't need to prove anything to yourself. You just need to embody the ideal version of yourself. Embody those thoughts. Start feeding those thoughts, those beautiful thoughts that you have, and you sometimes can't see and think about them. Just embody them and reinforce them, make them grow, let them shape your identity so you manifest them into reality and your physical plane changes. So I hope it helped. If you're still watching, I'm really grateful. So that's it. Bye.